Hello students, today's topic is determiners. Determiners are used before nouns to indicate which particular person or thing we are referring to. So they are in that sense can also be called fixing words which determine about a noun. That's why we call them determiners. They do not describe actually a noun but they point them out. Pointing words. That is why there is a slight difference between determiners and adjectives. Basically, there are three different kinds of determiners: articles, possessives, quantifiers, demonstratives, interrogatives, and distributives. There are three articles: a, n, the. A and n are called indefinite articles because they do not point to any special person or thing. The is known as the definite article because it points to a specific person or thing. The indefinite articles are used with singular countable noun. The article a is used before words beginning with a consonant sound. This thing we must note down that it's all about sound. And is used before words beginning with a vowel sound. There is a note, but please keep in mind if there is an adjective before a singular countable noun, we place the article in front of the adjective. For example, an African planet. I bought a newspaper. So started with consonant sound, newspaper, a. It was an interesting book. The rich can live a luxurious life. So though we talk about book, but before book our adjective has been used. So the determiner will come as per adjective. An interesting book. Had it only been, it was a book. Second is demonstratives. Demonstratives determiners help to point to specific nouns. Four demonstratives are this, that, these, and those. Those people are very poor. Can you give me this back? So, this is used for countable singular noun referring to near. We use this and these to refer persons or objects that are nearby. We use that and those in the context of persons or objects that are at a distance. We use this and that before singular nouns. These and those are used before plural nouns. Please note all these. There are few examples for you for practice. Now the third is possessives. As the name suggests, the adjectives that show possession or belonging are known as possessive determinants. These possessive determiners are my, our, your, his, her, its, and their. Mind the spelling their, there. For example, our farm is big. Put my lunch in this bag. So the possessive determiners can be used before singular and plural nouns regardless of whether they are countable or uncountable. This is the main thing, we must note it down. Now comes to interrogative determiners. These are used in sentences to gather information about the noun in question and are called interrogative determiners. The word whose, what, which, how much, and how many are interrogative and they can be used before any noun. Which shirt should I buy? Whose book is this? So, in such case, you can see the location which and whose are just before the noun. So we call them determiners. There is one exercise for you. I waited for dash sister. You can fill it. I waited for, the possessive will come, my sister, his sister, or any kind of possession we can use. As any that possessive or any that determiner, that will give you a complete, good, appropriate sense can be used. Now, after this exercise, there are 10 sentences. All are expected to work on this. Now, determiners of quantity or quantifiers. These provide information about the quantity of a noun and are called quantifiers. These tell us how much or how many. Some of these determiners are some, few, any, much, several, little, both, enough, many, more, whole, etc. For example, few people turned up for the function. I don't have any money to lend you at the moment. Some of these determiners are used solely with countable nouns, while others are used with uncountable nouns. We can easily make it out. Like, for example, you take some or much. So we can easily make it out. Much we use for, that is uncountable. We use many, several, few, all such determiners with plural countable nouns since they suggest numbers. Much is normally used for questions and negative statements. It can only be used before uncountable noun, as I talked earlier. We use most with a general plural noun. The quantifier, that is little, refers to quantity and can only be used before uncountable nouns. The words some and any can be used before countable nouns as well as uncountable nouns. We generally use some in affirmative sentences and any in negative sentences, or at certain cases interrogative too. Determiners of number. When we use numbers before a noun, they function as determiners and can be categorized in cardinal numbers or ordinal. That refers orders, first, second, third, fourth. The cardinal numbers tell us about quantity. Wait here for 10 minutes. That talks about some quantity that is of 10 minutes. And I talked ordinal little earlier. Let's talk on that. I have 20 heavy packets. So again, it's all about quantity. Now the second category of this is, as I talked earlier, ordinal. When we use ordinal numbers like first, second, fourth, third as determiners, they show the sequence. Who is first, who is second, who is third. The third fellow. The, the second of then two people. The second boy in the queue did this mischief. So that is in ordinal numbers. So the two examples of ordinal numbers or ordinal determinants are given. This is the first proof. They won the third prize. So third is followed by noun, that is prize. Distributives, the last one. These determiners point out that the persons or things mentioned are to be considered separate and are thus called distributives. These are either, neither, each, and every. Let me repeat. So, these kind of determiners called distributives actually point out that the persons or things mentioned are to be considered separately and thus are called distributives. For example, each actor played his part well. neither friend is willing to help him. There is exercise for you now. You have to do both the questions B and C. In first, you have to do write the kind of determiners in the given space against each sentences. Just you can do it as an oral practice for you. The second is insert the correct determiners in the following sentences and rewrite them correctly. So you can practice this way, and in exam, identification part is not being asked, but usage part is generally asked for 9th, 10th CBSE level. So practice well, watch the video and practice well on the basis of more and more exercises, more rules, more sentences. Practice it on your own. Thank you for watching.